Good afternoon here, Sunday, our last day here in Frederick, Maryland. The guys are over at the ballpark. I'm out doing a little sightseeing of downtown, and quite a nice little downtown here in Frederick. We're here at the Mark train station. There's no trains running today here, but it hooks up here with their main line to go down to Washington, D.C. on a weekday. We're going to take a little stroll here along Carroll Creek Park, a mile trail that cuts through downtown. I'm looking at the sign here. I'm thinking it almost can spell out Frederick. As you can see, the canal here. It's a mile long through the historic area of downtown Frederick. Got a bike path, walking path. So let's take a stroll and see how it looks down here. So we're at the northern end of the canal. One of them numbered canals here. Some other canals are over by Harper's Ferry. You have the towpaths that walk along the canal, the Casino Canal. Didn't have time or availability to get over there. But tomorrow, I believe we're gonna, on the way home, we're gonna take a ride down by Point Rock, the bridge down there, the Maryland-Virginia state line that goes over to Potomac. All right, we found out what this means here. It does spell out the word Frederick, and the artist made it into the American Sign Language for signing for the deaf. Spells Frederick. That's pretty cool. Now the canal really narrows out. Really nice little area here. Historic Frederick. Got its origins back around 1749. Looking at the Keystone, which you know is that Pennsylvania's landmark is the Keystone State. And that's an architectural design where back in the day, or even now, they put it to where they hold archways together. It's an engineering technique I read about for support. Something that Pennsylvania adopted a long time ago. Artwork, mosaic work built right into the design here. Probably nice to get out. No rain today. It's a little chill, not bad. Overcast, but not raining. Gives you a small feeling of what it's like to be in Amsterdam with all the many canals. Got some dogs over here getting ready to fight, or a little bit. We got a low bridge here. Everybody duck. Let's go down and see what's in the water here. Looks like little fishing bobbers. Yep. Continue our walk along Carroll Creek Park. The little suspension bridge. As we're heading toward the main road, Market Street. Could see a lot of activities going on down here, I bet, during the summer, at nights. Well, I wondered if there was fish in here. Here we are, got a goldfish. Well, hopefully they have a good life in here. One of the few bridges where you can cross the canal. Sweeties. Coming up on Market Street, where we just came down earlier. We cross the street here on the other side of the market. Like a wedding party. Lester Bowie, obviously a trumpet player. Everywhere you go now in the country, it's pretty cool on these buildings. You're seeing all this artwork. It adds a little cultural flavor to the area. Getting out toward the north end of the canal. The cascading waterfalls, flowing water. Yeah, I need to find a restaurant pretty soon. Make me go. Beautiful area out here. Definitely worth, if you're in Frederick, it's worth the time to get out here and walk along the Carroll Creek Canal. Absolutely. One of the historic homes here, Barbara Fritchie House. Old time building here back from the 18th century. Ballad of Barbara Fritchie. general took command of another street through town. The agent Frederick did, however, wave a flag from reports when federal forces had marched by. Obviously doing help signal people of the oncoming troops coming in. Back during the Civil War. Ballad here, the Ballad of Barbara Frederick. Which is not very far away, Antietam, and we're near Harper's Ferry also. Just to give you an idea, we're right here in Frederick. DC is down here. Going above up that way is going toward Gettysburg. Harper's Ferry's right here. And on September 17th, the Battle of Antietam, where two armies clashed in the bloodiest single day in American history, were some 23,000 casualties. General Lee soon retreated across the Potomac, ending his first invasion of the North. One of the more famous battles of the Civil War. Now, a little fact here I didn't know when I was reading history of this area. In this house here, 1943, May 17th, Winston Churchill visited this house along with Franklin Roosevelt while they were en route from Shangri-La to Washington, D.C. Little known fact. Back during World War II. And as you can see, it's a very beautiful little scenic walk here on the Carroll Street Canal in Carroll Park. Some of the flowers have taken a little bit of beating here with the rain and cold this week. Hopefully they'll revive as it warms up later this week again. Crazy weather. Again, looking down, you can almost picture and feel the colonial aspect of the old historic area of Frederick. Again, looking at the Barbara Frederick guest house. Back side of the house here, a really neat mural painted by Greg Harlan. The story is, upon rose old Barbara Frederick Inn, battled with her 80 years and 10. Bravest of all in Fredericktown, she took up the flag the men hauled down. In her attic window, the staff she set to show the one heart was loyal yet. Upon the street came the rebel tread, Stonewall Jackson riding ahead. Under his slouched hat left and right, he glanced the old flag and met its sight. Halt, the dust brown rank stood fast. Fire, out blazed the rifle blast. Shivered the window, pane and sash. It rent the banner with seeming gash. Quick as it fell from the broken staff, Dame Barbara snatched a silken scarf. She leaned far out on the windowsill and shook it forth with a royal will. Shoot, if you must, this old gray head, but spare your country's flag, she said. The legend of Barbara Frederick. Now we're looking back at the Zodiac clock. Nikolai Pokemov was the artist back in 2013. And we're beginning our return trip back toward the bus. What a great afternoon here along the canal. Try to find a place to get a little caffeinated hot coffee. My Wawa coffee's worn out from this morning. So let's see what we can find open here. Head back to the bus, I guess head back, watch a baseball game. What an interesting little walk here through Frederick's, Maryland, Frederick, the historic district. Very cool. Just feel the 18th century, 17th century here, the buildings. A lot of them federal style architecture. A lot of little antique arts and stuff. Such a little hip town. And obviously vinyl's making a big comeback. How many I had growing up in the 70s. They even still play. Rock and roll graveyard. Man, what a little collection here I've seen. I found a Neil Diamond. Man, if I had a record player, the album Serenade, Donna Fargo, Ray Price, wow. Nat King Cole, Dean Martin, Carpenters. Here we are with the 45 section. Gosh, this reminds me of going back in the old days up in East Brunswick, going to Wilco or Bradley's and whatever, going to try to find new 45s that are coming out. Beach Boys. Going back to our youth here. Gotta have, I bet, a few Creedence Clearwater. A little CCR. Tommy Rowe. Wow. Oh yeah, good old days, 45s. Well, when you're in Frederick, Maryland, make sure you want to get some vinyls. Go by the Rock and Roll Graveyard here, just off of Market Street. Got all kind. Phil in there was really kind. Went over, explained a lot about how vinyls are coming back and what they're running for cost. And had to get another record player. I'm going to go home. I got a whole bunch of old times, 45s and 33s. See if they work. If they do, I might go out and get here a record player. They said even though they're 50 years old and at it, they may still be okay if they ain't got warped. So I'm going to get home and give that a check here. Definitely, you're in the area, come out to Rock and Roll Graveyard. Pretty cool. Looking at an actual side street here, just off Market Street in the Historic District. Not made for buses. I have to say, what a pretty cool place down here. Glad I came down. Trying to find a little place to get a little coffee here before I walk back to the bus. We're right near the National Museum of Civil War Medicine. All right, folks. Hey, when you're here in Frederick, you got to come by Cafe Nola, see Kim. What a great job. She's a great hostess here. Great food. All right, thumbs up. 5-star. Hey, thanks for all the service. Great coffee. All right. If I was living here, this is where I'd be coming, right here. Hey, Kim would be my hostess. Great job. What an environment. Hey, you hear they do bands on weekend, karaoke. They say they do original, not cover band, but original. Coffee. They got a bar, really good bar. Food service, nice menu. Yeah, right here on Patrick Street. Right off Market. So, you ever here downtown want good food, drink, coffee, come in and see Kim here at Cafe Nola. I like the sign on the bathroom door, whatever, just wash your hands. What a fun vibe. You can tell when you go into a place that is really cool, it's comfortable, relaxing, fun. Meeting people like Kim. Met the general manager. Yep. So, we're going to close it out here, head back to the bus, head back to the game, see where we are. Kind of wrap up our visit of Frederick, Maryland, downtown. Let's head back to the ballpark. And let's leave a little view of, go ahead, thank you, I'm sorry. Thank you. Everybody's nice here at the outside of the Cafe Nola. Again, what a great place. 4 East Patrick Street, Frederick, right off Market Street. Definitely come in here if you're down here visiting historic Frederick. All right, well, let's head back to the bus. We've walked a couple hours through town here. Little hidden jewel. Please like and subscribe here, everybody. I hope you're enjoying it. I know Kim enjoyed hearing about my background here of what I'm trying to do. So, trying to show you a little bit of where I go, point out the good places, and again, here's one of the good places that is a definite thumbs up, 5-star, when in Frederick. So, let's head back to the ball game. Looks like we had time here. It'll be something good to see. National Museum of Civil War Medicine. Tours, museum, exhibits. I have a docent on duty. Guided tours. The old Hessians, those are the ones that came into New Jersey. Where George Washington fought back against them. "150 years ago, the city of Frederick was transformed into a major military medical center during the Civil War. They welcomed so many patients that they outnumbered the residents. Here in the museum, those patients, stories of them, their caregivers, and the role this building played, is particularly inside these doors. So it'd be an interesting museum here to visit. Look back at some of the photos. Back how it looked at Civil War. They said after the Battle of Antietam, 27 buildings were taken over for hospital use by the Union Medical Department. Churches, schools, hotels, seminaries were all used to house wounded soldiers. Today, more than half of the buildings are still standing, which we looked at earlier down the street here. I think definitely this is definitely a museum. You had time to go through the Civil War medical. And these books here would tell some gruesome stories. Empire of the Scalpel, History of Surgery, Learning from the Wounded. Here's one I think would be very chilling to read. Empty Sleeves, Amputation in the Civil War. Can you imagine back in them days? I just can't imagine. I think the stories in these books here would be bone chilling. So if you're down here and you're leaving Cafe Nola, you want something to do right here, that would be a museum. National Museum of Civil War Medicine. Well, folks, that's gonna about wrap it up here. We in Frederick. What a neat place. You know, sometimes the most fun and enjoyable places you go that you gain a lot out of is ones you don't really think about until you get out and explore. That's one thing I like to do. I like to get out here and walk and just stumble across stuff. And today was really neat coming down here by the canal and walking downtown historic Frederick, coming across some of the stores. The record store was pretty cool, and then going into Cafe Nola, fantastic. Can't say enough about it. Going in there, see Kim and the crew down there. If you're ever down there, eat some drink, restaurant, snack, whatever. Out there on Patrick Street, definitely hit it up, especially the weekend for some entertainment. All right, so now we're gonna be heading back. at the ballpark. One of the games is just about over, so I'll get back and watch the other game, and then we do the infamous pack the bus. Get ready to head back to Greenville tomorrow morning. The guys will be getting on a drug bus to go back to Baltimore to BWI and to fly home to Greenville. And I'll be getting back to Greenville tomorrow evening, maybe about 6. So let's see how we get back here to the ballpark. Again, Frederick, it's not very big, only about 78,000 people. But a lot of the streets are small down there, especially in the historic area. It's definitely a walking vibe city for downtown. Get out there, park, get out there, stroll along the canal, stroll along some of the historic buildings, eat, have a drink or two, enjoy. You can imagine the winter and the fall would be really nice to see the colors here and all that. Today we had the spring, the flowers starting to bloom, although some got kind of damaged, I think, or hurt with the cold and the rain. But we finally dried out today, and not very far from the ballpark. Here we are coming up to the ballpark now. I've been here all week coming out. We're at Nimio Field. There's Costco, packed out as usual. But again, please like and subscribe. Some of the ones at the Cafe know already subscribe to the channel. They want to see the different kind of videos that I have going on, and particularly about Frederick. And again, like I said, it's just off I-70, I-270, north of DC, but south of Gettysburg, PA. So if you want to come in and see a lot of history, especially Civil War, Antietam, Harper's Ferry, Gettysburg, Frederick, there's a lot to do here. So you definitely can spend a couple days here. Make Frederick your home base. Get out and explore the area. Hey, if you're in the spring and summer, catch a ball game. And remember, as we're getting back by the Mount Olivet Cemetery, pay a visit over here to Francis Scott Key, who's buried, the author who penned the Star Spangled Banner, National Anthem. So again, thanks for coming along for the ride. We'll see what else we can get into. Our next road trip will be to Rome, Georgia, in about a week and a half. All right, folks, come on out so I can get in. Thank you. Rome, Georgia is a little bit different. Hopefully it's not hot down there. That's one of the hottest places when the heat wave comes in down there, about a couple hours north of Atlanta. Kind of on the fringe of the mountains, but it just don't feel like you're in the mountains in Rome, Georgia. So we're looking at Mount Olivet Cemetery. See what kind of crowd we have here at the ball game. Parking lot looks pretty full. Weekend, if you want to get out. Let's go drive. Let's get a win. Let's get 2 wins and get out of here. Get back to Greenville. So again, please hit the subscribe button. Hit that button to alert you about any new videos. Like I said, hit and miss. I'll be back home for a couple days, so it's a little bit hard to get out and do some more videos till I get out on the road. But you never know. Like I said, I'm not no professional YouTuber like some of these guys that get out and do this. So what I am finding though, before I was doing this, I kind of let things get by or never really paid attention. But now I'm seeing some of the stuff here that, hey, this is pretty cool here, and get out and do it. So the YouTube video has made me get out here and explore more things that maybe I wouldn't have done. So again, thanks for coming along for the ride for this week. We've been up here since Monday in Frederick, and tomorrow will be southbound, hammered down to Greenville, South Carolina. Thanks for coming along, everybody. We will see you down the road. Remember, let's go big or go home. Adios, everybody.